welcome, you whack jobs. Simone Mysterio, going to live to 97. The Emperor Chris Mitchell from Canada, the pizza Mansour, the connoisseur of pizzas. Working out as the greatest health medication of all time. Stephen from Arizona, good to see you, brother. Timothy from Southern California. What is the real breakup rate for all couples? Well, all of us are broken up. It's got to be 100%. It's got to be high. And you and Megatron and everybody else gets the bad religion. BJ's in the house. Europe is back. Rusty Rivers finishing up a plumbing job. Plumbers are the next multi-millionaires because nobody wants to do that shitty work. No pun intended. Gerald is back. Good to see you. Jawara, our in-house author of multiple books. Fear is a choice. Well said. Mr. Sammy is back. I want to be a cowboy. That could be is that a Vandals? Who did I Want to Be a Cowboy? Was it Kid Rock did it, but as a punk rock, it was either, I can't remember if it was the Vandals or 7 Seconds. Gosh dang it, I'm off my game today, folks. Europe says, I'm abusive and controlling. That's why I'm 2 times divorced. Attaboy. Trogue in the house, good to see you. Jawara getting a full hair procedure done in October. Dang, bro. Kicking it old school. I got to see those dreads. Slam Cave is back. He's fetching parts in the part department. Good to see you, brother. Stay single, stack up your money, enjoy your peace, quiet, and freedom. Modern women love to take. JR is back. Good to see you. That yoga instructor needs a man. She's been blowing up my phone, asking me questions about cars. She wants your attention, Stephen. Risk versus reward. I am John is back. Good to see you, brother. John's been around for a while. Wolf King. He's going to be busy tonight upstairs with that Polish gal. Plumbers are prawn stars. Attaboy. Big Vegas is back. Good to see you, brother. I'm doing well. How about you? Australia appointed man's behavior change secretary. Betty, good to have you. While the West needs women. Oh, it's just a shit show. Just a shit show. Timothy, pureblood MGTOW monk. I'm pureblood MGTOW, but not monk. But I appreciate my monk brethren. Brad, my favorite Mormon bastard. Shouldn't you be in Colorado City leading a flock? I have been to Springdale and Colorado City before they got Warren Jeffs. It was creepy. I got to tell you that story someday. Plumbing is easy. Crap flows downhill, and don't chew your fingernails. There you go. Sega Afterburner. Okay. FJT is back. He's fielding whacked out voicemails from wackos. 3 months of full income to cover the October hair procedure. Just shave it off. You look good. Face everything and run, or face everything and rise. Big Vegas, FEAR. There's a band called, or actually Ian Brown from the Stone Roses has a song called Fear. FEAR. I would check it out. X Mask Up is mostly fake female profiles on dating apps because men are buyers and she is the product. Couldn't agree more, brother. Cheaper Groceries is back. Good to see you. Cheaper's been coming and hanging out. It's a long extended prawn scene with bitches everywhere. Good to hear you're doing well, brother. Appreciate you being with us again. You're up. MGTOW is the best uppercut punch. Uppercut. Remember that? I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember boxing at the arcade. It was Mike Tyson's knockout. Uppercut. Plumbers know how to lay down pipe. Attaboy. Here's to all you chat brothers. We're all in here. Let's talk about today. Let's talk about the topic. I'm never touching the needle on my hair. I'm just going to keep it as is. There you go. Strangers on a Train is an underappreciated gem. Those were the days. There you go. Well skilled in most trades and mercenary to the highest bidder. Skills are where it's at, man, because nobody wants to do it. And they make a ton of money. I've seen women put up with bad boys more than so-called nice guys. Of course. Remember what Jordan Peterson said. Your Canadian comrade, Mysterio. He said, nice guys are agreeable, and agreeable is weakness to women. That is why they do not like nice guys. JC from Texas is back. JC spent some time in Oregon. FEAR, very good video game. There you go. If you want to destroy fear, work out for 3 months and eat healthy. It's all about moving energy. That's all we talk about. Rad, don't you know if the audience can relate, but the Mormon world is peculiar to say the least. Of course it is. The funnel, oh, I know so much. You and I could have a discussion for hours. Staring in the face of fear with stoicism. Look at death as your friend. Embrace death. Embrace it. We are all terminal. 90% of dating profiles are zombies. They sure are. Well said, brother. Ian Brown fears a great song, Wolf. I like a lot of Ian Brown and Stone Roses. Rad, one day I'm going to make a compilation video of some of the new voicemails. Would love to hear them. Put me on the guest list, and I will listen to them. Yes, to knock out Glassjaw Joe. There you go. Gerald knows what I'm talking about. Nick Vincent from the UK is back. Good to see you. Jordan Peterson created his own university. He says some good stuff. Interesting feller. Get your passports. I got my passport all renewed this year for another 10 years. JP says you should be dangerous, just in control of it. And mysterious. Seraphim is back. There are worse things than death. I've noticed too much beer and wine kills the boner. Yep. She is 5 foot tall and wants a man who's 9 foot tall and 9 figures. That's the reality we live in, guys. Embrace death. Understand that death is actually your friend. It is a motivator. Most men are walking dead. Most men in marriages are dead. Most of us men who came out of relationships and marriages, I guarantee, were dead at one point. And yet we have been resurrected. And that's pretty rare today, because even divorced men or broken up men continue to be dead. They continue to die and be held within the mental power of her. That's death. That's virtual death. In the past, physically, you were more out of shape. When you were married, how did that happen to you? Oh, you become complacent. I was 30 pounds overweight, guys. We definitely shouldn't fear death as alpha men, but so many men are married to a woman, make them feel like they're dying slowly. Ain't that the truth, Big Vegas? They're average at best. Tons of makeup and fillers. Yep. And catfishing. And Don Flamenco. That was. Absolutely, Betty. I won't read it because it got some words in there that they might tag me with. But agree with that statement. Dating transformers will destroy your blank market value. Ugh. Tone Low talks about that. Funky Cole Medina, right? Liquor works as a male desensitizer for me. Sometimes it takes the edge off, but it's a slippery slope. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperations. Of course, that just means virtually dead, right? Peterson is a tiny hat grifter. He's an interesting guy. He said some interesting things, but that's about it. Boy, the Olympic female gymnastics teams are so hot. I'm a total simp, hypnotized by young beauty. How old are they now? 17? Hi, I'm George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents. Hi, George. That was a great scene. I've never seen a joyful guy married. Most of my Polish uncles and cousins resembled Halloween depressed monsters. Frankenstein for 300. She is not married to him. She is married to an ATM machine. You're not wrong, brother. Free Slave Mine is back. Good to see you. It's called Pussy Whipped, and yes, it's death. Pussy Whipped. Think about that. Isn't that kind of violent if you think about it, getting whipped? Any brothers in the chat pay 20 grand to restore? I don't think so, but there's a guy in here that was cutting his legs apart to grow taller. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. The Bible for 300 for that. Megatron says, I'm embracing it now. Good for you. My father-in-law who's still here said to my mother in 55 years. Never said to my mother in 55 years, and it made her crazy. Interesting. Enjoying a green matcha tea with ginger and honey. Attaboy. So crazy how every time I tell people I'm purposely single, not looking, they act like I have something wrong. They just want you in the program. And get back on the plantation, Free Slave Mind. Never forget in a week she can push her body count. Well said, brother. Radical Raptor's back. Good to see you. Most men are disrespected at home. They're disrespected by their wives in front of kids. Oh, sure. In front of coworkers, neighbors. Happened to me. It's amazing how many older men tell me how lucky I am not to be married. You are lucky. All by design, FJT. My cousin hated his marriage so much that he smoked himself to death to get out of it. His life was great, except for his marriage. Most men are dead. There's a part of me that died. Absolutely. There's a part of me that's like, oh my gosh, can't wait for these kids to grow up. Not the fact, just something different. It just seemed the same every day. Like it just, but we move forward. Nice nickname, Wolf. I saw a married couple in the airport. His wife is wearing a shirt with a logo called I Have the Pussy and I Make the Rules. Man, simping for 300 Trebek. Yeah, he never returned, did he, Jawara? Red Pill Plantation, man, it's waiting for every one of us to go back to it. Most drugs produce around 100 units of pleasure, but women have the ability to give men over 9,000. Interesting statistic, brother. Trog, if every man was tall, they just want someone taller. Exactly. They're never happy with what is. They didn't get the Buddhist memo for 300. Brad, do you think men are afraid to leave an abusive? Yes, absolutely. Most men are scared of their wives. My friend who works at Google, a software engineer, is about to be divorced. She is demanding 10 grand a month for 2 kids. Jeez. No surprise. They shoot for the moon and get the swamp. You know? Timothy Sokol says, my married friends curse me and I laugh and I start the motorcycle and spin my tires. Riding your motorcycle for 300 Trebek, enjoying a 40-ounce apple sour. It's a beautiful. Are you down in Nicaragua right now, amigo mio? Tested my willpower by going on some prawn sites. So disgusted by it. Fortunately, I had some laughs, noticing how many incels visit that crap. You know what's funny? I don't really suggest you watch prawn, but go watch some of the comments in prawn. Man, I feel bad for these incels. They never ask about your problems, but dump their problems on you, but don't want you to solve them. Of course. Again, the only thing you can tell the woman is, I'm sorry you feel that way. It must be hard. Don't try to fix anything. But don't even try to be in that situation to begin with. Peace, quiet, and freedom for 300 Trebek. Physical attraction to females and the desire for intimacy leads men to hand over control of their lives, both legally to a hypergamous female who only wants children, support, and total freedom. That right there sums it up, One Mighty and Strong. If she tells you her past, she will say, please don't judge me. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So how do we get it? We have to embrace, it's interesting. I was listening to Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback. He was on Tucker Carlson's podcast, and he said something. What is your relationship with death like? I thought that was quite profound when he said that. We need to play psychologist and push Plunger these days with a fake name. Oh, yeah, some of those comments can be hilarious, brother. But what is your relationship with death? Are you scared of it? Do you embrace it? Do you accept it? Do you fear it? I don't want a relationship or kids. People keep telling me I'm lonely when the honest truth is I was never lonely. I was lonely in relationships. You summed it up right there, FJT. Simps are the worst. I do not understand the point of giving likes. They want attention. They want validation. They can't get it. Yeah, they're basically dogs or cats wanting it. Well, cats don't need that much attention. But dogs, always coming up to you, begging for food, begging for attention. Saying malt liquor for 300. Are you sure you're not drinking Schlitz? As the saying goes, Sue, she's not yours. She's just your turn. That right there is the most important golden truth of the red pill. You do that. You become that tampon, absorb it, and just sit there. Well said. Most men don't understand she's just yours. She's not yours. It's just your turn. If everybody embraced that, life would be great. I see no difference between modern women and prosties. There is only one. Prosties take your money and modern women doing it for free. Well said. WHO is in the house. Good to see you. Nope, in Chicago, guys, have you ever listened to a regular air radio? There's a Thirsty Beta program called Dahlia. No, never have. I'll check it out. No such thing as incels, $50 and a massage parlor of your choice. There you go, Seraphim. I am John. There's a million ways to check out just to try to put those odds in your favors. Eat clean, exercise, and stay off the drugs. And the ladies. And vet the ladies very, very carefully. Well said. I am John, laying it down to Chinatown. Vet them. Hey, are you happy? If you're not, why then ask? Some of these gals do that. They do that. Male nurses always announce when they're about to touch me. Oh, crazy. I like Aaron Rodgers. He's done some things I've done. Ayahuasca, darkness retreats. He knows. He said he did a report on JFK back in high school, and it got him thinking about something doesn't add up right. He's pure blood too. To quote, "She's not yours. It's just your turn. No thanks. I don't want a turn. Just peace, quiet, and freedom." Attaboy. Unsound methods. Good to have you. Not scared of death, just the suffering to get there. That's great. It's great. I think all of us don't want to suffer to get there. But I think for the most part, I'm not scared of it. I was worried about it when my kids were little. I didn't want to leave this earth with them not knowing their father. Now that they're 19 and 25, it's a different world. They know their dad. So if something happened, I'd be okay. I've experienced with death 3 times. It happened to me that my soul wanted to leave my body. Sometimes I fear death, but I learn to enjoy every second of my life. Well said, brother. Big ta'ala in the house. I mean, we have to embrace death to enjoy this life. It is terminal. We can't deny it. Not that we're going to live every day thinking we're going to be dead, but let's live our fullest, recover from what we've come out of, and try to make every different day that much more productive. He who wrestled with God trailed rules for life. In all realness, with what I've survived over a decade, most men would call it the Kevorkian time. There's a lot of us that have gone through shit that would, God take me tonight. But we made it through. She's not a woman. Women will touch whatever they want. Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. Different rules for different sexes. All Seeing Otto is back. Kicking it in England. Good to see you, brother. I just ordered a PS4 with Red Dead. Good for you. I worry about the possibility of reincarnation. I don't ever want to return to this evil world. I'm returning as Jim Morrison in my next life. If it's just good quote, but good comment, Gerald. If it's just your turn, that's kind of nasty. That means you shouldn't go down on there. Can you just think about it? How many guys have been with those ladies? Dinner after range, time with my son. Results oriented. Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you being here. Live clean and happy, and they have no power over you. She's not a woman. A real woman is a virgin. And she's respectable. BJ says, visions of plantations and the annoying simps. There you go. When you ask them how much, why do they get so offended? That's just what they do. It's the female brain. Who do you think was behind pushing this patriarchy word that women use against us? Big world. It's a good question, man. What's the chat say? Good to have you. Golden Fire Kung Fu Punani doesn't exist. It's all the same production, different packages. It's a different, yeah. You can sum it up like that. Came across 10 second shorts of random women doing something basic in the comments of Fleta Sim saying she's a keeper. She's the one. How is she the one? It's all the attention, FJT, isn't it? To live is sometimes you have to die. The closer you are, the more you're alive. There you go. I am John. I've had a woman chase me with a foot-long, super sharp steak knife and survived to tell the story. Damn. I'd love to hear that story. Pet my monkey. That's like a reference to Saturday Night Live. Timmy Kramer, the forever bachelor. Just got out of my horse trough. Cold water felt great. Attaboy. Timmy Kramer down in Phoenix. Keeping cool. Turd Ferguson is back. Good to see you. If you fear death, go talk to a Christian leader. Yeah, or just talk to other people. Provide, protect, and provide is beaten into male from birth. And what benefit is there for man doing this in a world where males are the sacrificial lambs for females who only seek to use them? I've told my boys that. I said, you got to understand the programming in life, but you have the choice to go with it or to not go with it. I'm a Chad and I stopped dating women. They drain my energy, my money, and destroy my peace. Everyone thinks that a Chad is not dealing with. Chads just get to the front of the line. That's all they do. They deal with the same shit. I think knowing the male power knowledge makes you more powerful to live well. You can understand that. Many of us were tricked. Well, many of us woke up to the programming. That's it. That's all. But you're right. Iraq and Afghanistan taught me when it's your time, it's your time. Appreciate your service, Stephen. I once had a woman swing a pair of garden loppers at me, missing my face by inches. Dang, brother. They go crazy. There's a lot of them. I won't say what mine did, but she threw things at me. Why fear something billions of people have gone through? Exactly. Everybody on this earth within 100 years won't exist. Think about that. Billy Joel, always a woman. She'll carelessly cut you and laugh while you're bleeding. Billy Joel. Truth. My blood infection at 18 got me thinking about my son and I are enough as a family. Yeah, I mean, you think about that when you have little kids. You don't want to leave them fatherless, right? The new trend is modern women are using witchcraft to attract high-value men. Jeez. I'm scared of reincarnation. Oh, nothing to be scared about. Was at the mall this morning, saw a lady dressed like a teenager, more tan than a tomato. No surprise. Peace, quiet, and freedom is enough for me. I have nightmares of being a simp. I thank the universe I woke up before it was too late. Attaboy. Good for you. Women on head meds, certain mega problems for you. Oh, antidepressants, not good, folks. They can be oppressed all they want, just not on my time. I've got a life, and it doesn't include women. Attaboy. I love Hammer, but prefer this format over any other. No donations, no BS, just read comments. Everyone's got their own flavor. We're actually living under laws where women have more power than men. You are 100% right. I fear living a boring life over death. There you go, Timmy. Timmy can check out now. Death is just a vehicle dropping you into eternity. Ooh. Stereo from Winnipeg for 300. A lot of what we're seeing is self-serving and versions of healthy truth. Spirituality has helped you. Big world, I have Mormon heritage. I consider myself Mormon, but I don't participate anymore. I'm not what you call the poster child. Going through my marriage made me realize that the box is not the be-all and end-all. Slam cave. Yet most men think that. JC, in 100 years, no one will spend a lot of time thinking about 99.99 of people living now, just as we don't spend a lot of time thinking about people who died. Exactly. Today, within 100 years, no one that we know will exist that live on this earth at this time, most likely. Never get jealous when you see your ex with someone else, because our parents taught us to give our used toys to the less fortunate. Attaboy. Do you believe in hell? No. The hell's made in your mind. I had an ex hit me in the head with a heavy pan, then fold into a fetal position, crying and shaking. Damn, Wolf. All men experience death, not many experience life. Ooh, SCE, laying it down in Chinatown. That's what we're talking about today. Rusty Rivers, enjoy our time now. It's later than we think. I worried. It probably won't ever happen, right? My ex pointed a blank at me. Shit. Boy, if you did that, you'd be probably on death row at this point. Being born exceptionally good looking only makes you a bigger target for the parasite. No money, but I attract females off looks. No thanks. You have a superpower, one mighty and strong. You know what Jordan Peterson said? Yes, he did. And he didn't apologize. Yeah, he said some weird things, that's for sure. Modern women, logic works like this. You are doing nothing, and she will say in court, he was abusive. Of course. Results oriented. Chicken walked in, restaurant barely dressed, tugged on a sweatshirt after being seated. She made sure everyone noticed her. There you go. I don't know if you apologized, Seraphim or Rusty. When it was over for your marriage-wise, was it easy to leave once it was said and done? Yes. Takes 1 month for every year you're with the woman, married or not. When you feel like falling back into the old habits, do some push-up, lift weights. Yeah, move energy. Move your energy. I would be a greaser because it's the rebel in me. Big world. Great question. A regret is not an apology. There you go. Remember that. Results. You guys are shooting some lead. Most women aren't allergic to latex. Never use her blank. Yeah? Yeah? You sound like a big dick swinging, Wolf. The government is helping modern women so good that modern women think they got 3 cacks between their legs. Sure they do. As someone with blank cancer, every day I wake up, I contemplate death, come to the conclusion that I want my life to have some meaning. Brother, hope you're okay. Hopefully you got great therapy. We've had a couple brothers that have passed, but they fought good courageous, valiant battles, and we hope you have overcome it. Tell us what's going on. Anyone remember existence before you were born? That's a great question. I always ask people, do you remember when you chose to be born? It stumps everybody. I got bored of sex in every relationship I ever had. Well, sex does get boring after a while with the same person. Sure, it's like eating a vanilla ice cream cone every day. He should have clarified it, Rusty. Seraphim, speaking of Mormon in Masaya, Nicaragua, there's an official bona fide. Yep. There's a lot of churches in Latin America. The scene in 300 where a soldier is overlooking the Persians camp and smiling. Why are you smiling? Because maybe someone down there can give me a glorious death. There you go. Slam says he hopes his baby mama is in heaven. There's nothing wrong with that, brother. Going to do some Cambodian skating later. Hot one in Connecticut. Go do a Chinese ollie for me. And God bless Trog out there, brother. Send our love and good vibrations to Trog. I've been with a lot of women in my life. Most of them will drop you in a second the minute you stop giving them lots of... Absolutely. Yeah, once that well dries up, they go find another one. Frame is really a myth, as you say. Alpha, beta is sort of the same thing. Sure. Absolutely, Mysterio. Modern women want to lead a marriage. A man wants to lead also. I've never seen two pilots. Nope. Great. Retro's back. I don't love things in this wicked world. I'm waiting for Jesus' return. Good to have you, Retro. And once when I was walking to my cousin Barrio with two gringos dressed up, and yep, they look like electrical light salesmen, don't they? Virtual sex is probably safer. Yep. If she'll murder a defenseless fetus, what do you think she's got for you? There you go. Praying for Trog and a speedy recovery. You know what the saying goes, she's not yours, it's just your turn. There you go. Carnivore diet, ivermectin, and no sugar. And fast, Trog. Looks like you're doing all is good. Scope on August 8th. Good. Okay, we're going to, everybody, next week, send vibes to Trog for his scope. It'll become free of whatever is plaguing him now. Marriage is a Walkman with only one song on it, with dead batteries. Interesting thing, Hammer said, has any woman truly showed you she loved you? Very few, if not any. There's a riddle. Brian Renard is back. Yeah, they say that one of the biggest issues is it feeds off glucose and sugar. Fear is nothing more than an obstacle that stands in the way of progress. In overcoming our fears, we can move forward stronger and wiser in ourselves. There you go. I wonder if Trump knows about our manosphere. I bet he does. When you take control and say no more to useless spending and focus on retiring, doing what you want, you realize you don't need much. Are you allergic? Nope. I'm not allergic to anything. Good evening, Rebel. Good evening to you, Ian Blades. JP will never get it. He'll just tell you if your wife divorces you, it's all your fault. And if you don't want kids, you're delusional, of course. Look at his daughter, man. Total 304. I hope God exists for the sake of justice more than anything. Although it is not preferred, it would be okay if there was no God and it all comes to a dead end in the end. You might be one of those guys that believes in the Bible, dust to dust. Or is there a life after this? Interesting. We don't know. Virtual sex is pretty good, but bad for the keyboard. Choose life and freedom to do what you want when you like. Sat on the sofa watching some crap just to keep the peace. Yeah, I get what you're saying there, brother. Absolutely. Choose life and freedom. Do you remember that Seinfeld episode? He avoided the breakup at all costs. Yes, I did. Retro, if I can't have the woman I want, I don't want a woman at all. Don't recommend them, Retro. The guys in the chat are so much more supportive than the wife. She bailed. Well, they bail all the time with sickness. It's one of their issues. Sickness and lack of finances. We'll take care of our brothers. Is it truth when you said in sales you get rejected? Yes. 80% of the time. To look at life, the way I look at life, multiple people will always be in our lives, romantic, wise, and friends. Sure. Like Shakespeare says, every act, new people come and new people leave. Once I stopped giving life to dead situation, my path got clear. Big Vegas, love it. Great comment. Quit giving life to dead situations. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Little Phil Collins. Relationships for males is sacrifice, dedication, and loyalty, and men prove this through taking action. 100%. Giving up sugar is huge. Sugar is obesity. Yep, sugar, cancer cells feed on sugar. A lot of this stuff that's why carnivore is so good. A lot of this stuff goes back to the Garden of Eden. Sure does. Fear has two meanings. Forget everything and run. Face everything and rise. Attaboy. I think we got an on-fire chat, you guys. It's tough to keep up with all you wackos. Several cancers are fungal-based. Vitamin C in massive amounts will supposedly kill off. Yeah, and vitamin D as well. Keto, says Tro, good for you, brother. Just cut out all that processed shit. Once I cut out sugar, milk, and bread, the pounds fell off. Yeah. Brian Renard, rad about a dip. There you go. That kid on the roof was a future incel, if not an incel. I don't think you can fix that anymore. He'd have to want to fix it and find chats like this. Courage is a Shutterstock decision. There you go. Riddle. There is a woman in a boat on a lake wearing a coat. If you want to know her name, it's in the riddle. I just wrote it. What's her name? Lilith. There is no illusion greater than fear. Well said. Do you believe in manifesting? Yes. I think we have the power to do a lot. I also believe that life also has a luck-based component to it. I believe actions produce results and or luck produced results. Does that make sense? But there's some things that we can and can't control. What man wants to pay new car price for an old taxi? Attaboy. Not me. K-Plan in the house. Good to see you. Liquor, yes. Creates, yep. Well said, Sammy. It's not sugar, it's refined sugar. Pure sugar cane is good. And obviously in moderate. Slow down for rad. Weirdos. I'm trying. Action cures fear. Inaction creates terror. Well said. We live in a low IQ culture, and then we are told you men are terrible and need to be feminized. Raw garlic is good as well. Technology has created zombies. People are afraid of meeting in the real world. They sure are. Steven says lost 73 pounds on carnivore. I think carnivore is great. I think it'd be very difficult for me to do it every day for the rest of my life because I like chips and guacamole. But, you know, for a temporary time, it definitely can reset you. Garlic is good at keeping away the ladies, the witches. I feel great when I ignore women. Since they ignore me, they're non-existent in my world. Peace, quiet, and freedom, Retro. Careful with the word manifesting. It's witchcraft. Big world incel is a derogatory term developed by feminists. Every modern problem can be traced back to feminism. That's 100%. Being aware of your fear is smart. Overcoming it is the mark of a successful person. Women are only entertainment, if you can look at it like that, right? JR, candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker. Mysterio, what would God look like in your head if God is real? I think he'd be a cool guy. I think he'd have Jesus hair and chill, like an old grandfather. Nature selected human features, physical and psychological instincts are strong. It is prudent for the human intellect to carefully navigate the minefield of instincts. Know your biology, in and out. My leads, well, I've built a lot of success off of my Rolodex, but, you know, I work with other street vendors or street reps and so forth. Hammerhand is back. Good to see Hammer. Hammer's done, the last two streams have been just, well, they're all great, but the last two, for some reason, just stuck out. Appreciate you doing those. Thursday and Sunday for the big Hammer, the OG. Started watching Hammer, and was it 16 or 17? Good to have you, brother. Binge watching old Big John videos. Man, he was great. Got me through my divorce. Public speaking make me fearful. Then I went in the army. Guys, whatever tests us makes us stronger. Whatever is easy makes us weaker, wimpier. That's why people say, go fast. It's hard to fast until you get used to it. Go jump in an ice cold river. Whatever makes you hard makes you strong. Whatever is hard makes you strong. As a man, Make things happen. Fortune favors the bold. There you go. There is no better illusion than love. Fear is healthy, and when properly channeled, is powerful. Her rejection is God's protection. Ain't that the truth? As hard as we try, and we should, my grandfather used to say, boy, when it's your time, it's your time. Yeah, my son came over today. Appreciate that, Hammer. And he's 23, and he's having a hard time. He's deciding if he wants to stay with his job. He said he's been feeling down a little. And I said, you know what? Tell me why you're feeling down. I see all the people around me. They're being successful. Well said with that. They're being successful. They're doing these things. They got relationships. I go, do you think they're happy? You think they don't struggle? I go, every one of those guys in a relationship, I guarantee, is struggling. They can't make her happy. You have peace, quiet, and freedom. And you know you're in choppy waters right now. Eventually, those choppy waters will calm, and your ships will come in. The chocolate bar is not the end of it. Mayor bodybuilding in the house. Men need challenges. Yeah, absolutely. No challenge. That's why so many incels. No challenge. Video games and Cheetos. It's unfortunate. Do the hard shit. Lift the weight. Do things that push you. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think vegans and those people are whacked. If everything was easy, troons wouldn't have to masquerade as women to win superficial trophies. Well said. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, simp mantra. Ain't that the truth? Living in joy is practice and an appreciation for what we have, even if it's very little. That's a good one. Her rejection is God's protection. You guys come up with great shit. You know, there's good stuff in here. Good folks, good experience. And we do this for experience. What are you going through? What have you gone through? What have I gone? What can we do to bring the conversation to keep more men in the right direction with the sails headed forward, not backward? Hunter-gatherers were healthier. I like what the Native Americans did. They used the buffalo, every part of it. They weren't vegetarians. Instill in yourself, it won't be beaten. Well said. Jordan Peterson has made some decent comments, but for the most part, he's a weird guy for me. I don't know. I can't get into him. Hammerhand choke slams this drag. WrestleFest arcade for the win. No eggs, no eggs. That eggs little cartoon is great. Modern women are taking the drugs all day and drinking alcohol all the time. She needs attention. I think they should ban modern. No, they just infiltrate. That's the issue. They love to infiltrate everything because they want the attention of males, even though they hate men. Right? Or they're just wired differently. We just have to accept that. So stay out of those issues. Meat does a body good. I'm turning my guardian angel into an alcoholic. Modern women don't have to learn combat. Most of them weigh enough to clobber any guy. I do not have any Native American in my blood, brother. I went through tour of duty, 4 marriages. Gosh, dang. You've been there, Mr. Sammy. Tell those men what you learned. Had married men say to me, you need someone to look after when you get older. Who made that up? He's got a funky suit. He's always on Joe Rogan for some reason. I mean, look, the messenger is the messenger. Sometimes the message is deep. Doesn't mean you have to like the person. We thrive on competition, cooperation. Deciding which to use requires a bit of uncommon sense. I think what Jordan Peterson has done is got a little bit of the narrative out there. More on our side than the other side. Lift weights when you get bored. Well said. Just picking up on the weights again, post hernia surgery, can't do everything, but never give up. Good for you, cheaper groceries. I don't know much about him. I know his daughter is whacked. He's carnivore. Hey, at least he won't call the troons their whacked out names. Timmy says, men must start communicating amongst each other about the wisdom. Absolutely, guys. Most men are 99.5% of men do not understand what red pill, big towel, any of this, that they can have a happy life outside of the programming. They don't understand it. They think that if they get divorced, I have multiple friends that get back in marriages. Call me 2 years later, I'm miserable. Most vegans are psychos, JR. They're angry. Wolf. Just take it slow with the weights. There's no shame if you need a cane. And yeah, give yourself time to heal, especially if you get a little older. I don't really mess with the women in California. I would say I go typically San Diego, LA, Sacramento. I really don't have a lot of time, but they're entitled. Yeah, he's in a funk. He came out. Hey, he called me up and said, Dad, can I come over and talk to you? I'm like, yeah, brother, what's up? We had a nice 2-hour talk. I told him everyone goes through choppy waters. And I told him, here's the one thing. I may grow old, but I'll never grow up. I told my boy that today. Society will crumble, brother. Once you understand a female will never love you as you love her, you understand that as a relationship is only men serving females. Well said. She's a total 304. But I told my son this. I said, quit looking for happiness. Happiness is a derivative of peace, quiet, and freedom. People say all the time, you got to be happy 100% of the time. No, that's bullshit. No, you can't have happiness all the time. You have to have choppy waters. You have to have stormy weather. And you have to have calm seas. That is reality. Well said, SCE. I think he's a little bit of a sellout. I'm opening American business for 304s. Attaboy. Jordan Peterson better hope his wife never gets bored and leaves. The internet will have a field day. I doubt if she will, but you never know. California's got a lot of petri dishes, JR. Peterson is death control opposition. Yeah, again, he said a couple things that I agree with, but, I don't follow him. I don't have his book. I won't go see him. I might see a few sound bites. That's about it. Don't take any advice, S-Mac, from a married man, because they want you on the plantation miserable like they are. They want somebody to vent to. A lot of those women with tattoos got the STD. They got the clap. I set a new goal, read 1 book a day for at least a month. Good for you. Good for you. Do those things. When you chase ladies over 45, be careful. They got medical bills, 100%. They want you to pick up the tab. I am John. He ain't lying there, brothers. Even in the 80s, as a teen, I noticed men's failure with women. I have always been myself with women. Never changed for a woman. Isn't that interesting? But most men do. Happiness is fleeting. Yes, at 100%, happiness needs sadness. Sweet needs sour. Apple sours makes me happy. There you go. JP is a good orator. His wife won't leave him. Yeah, he said some good things. Thanks, SC, for being here. Gavin Gruesome. Now, that guy's a simp. Give them nothing. But here's the deal. Happiness is a derivative. We can't be happy all the time. If you see someone happy 100% of the time, they're on head meds or something. They're juiced. Without the good times, you'll never appreciate the good times. Embrace the suck. This too will pass, son. Absolutely. That's what I told him. I go, you're in choppy waters. You've been in them before. And you know what? The winds will calm down and you'll figure it out. Now, going back to San Diego, the whale's vagina. Being truly red-pilled and married is impossible. I agree. Brad, can you be MGTOW truck brother if you date? Hammer said, no. What say ye? What is MGTOW truck brother? A men's right guy on TV once said, happiness is the byproduct of achievement. Happiness should not be everything you wake up to experience in life. Happiness is a byproduct, 100%, Mayor bodybuilding. Good times never last, but neither do the bad times. Soldier on brothers, well said. Newsom had an affair with his secretary. Of course he did. I don't like the guy. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and to do other things. That's because they're easy, but because they're hard. JFK. They didn't like JFK because he didn't want war. No, I don't think his wife will leave him. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if it were to happen, the internet would go crazy. Sure. It would, I don't think it'll happen. I call MGTOW tow trucking men to safety. I think everything has risks and rewards. Choose wisely, men. Peace, quiet, and freedom. Not a fan, big world. NPCs will never wake up or it's over for them. Good to see you, D-Man. You're right. You want to be happy, abandon want and expectation. We all want things, but the desires mostly lead to disappointment. Let's talk about Buddha real quick. Regardless, Buddhism is not a religion. It's a philosophy of thinking. Buddha basically said all that mattered in life was to be present and to not label emotions as happy or good or sad or angry, just to allow them to be in the now. That's it. Not to seek happiness, to be in the now. Women need to be happy all the time. My ex, Vince, Nick would always say, I can't make you happy every day. It's impossible. You can't even make your own self happy. Well said, pure motivation. She definitely is. I don't even call her black. She's more Indian American than anything. Good friends do lead to good things. Well said. But at the end of the day, being in the present, accepting your fear, accepting your negativity, embracing death, fearing death is okay. Fearing death actually gives you an option to either stay where you're at or to not fear it. To stay where you're at or to understand it. Understand the fear of death. Why? Well, it's an unknown. We've never passed through it. So there's a little bit of anxiety with that. But should we label it fear? And just remember, we all are terminal. Most men are terminal from the time they get married or in a relationship till the time they die. They're just existing. Not now. There you go. I don't know if he ever did. I doubt if he did. He might have. It is a very interesting story, very similar to Jesus' story. Buddha's premise is life is suffering. Yeah. Who said suffering is bad? Is it bad? I think Trump wins. No fear, I hope to live to 98, but I could die tomorrow and would be contented in that. Had a great vision of life. There you go. X-Mass says time is our most valuable asset. Yep. 1 minute loss is 1 minute you can never get back. $1 lost, you can get it back multifold. Think about that. Time is running out. Appreciate that, BJ. Appreciate you being here, too. We're here for everybody. The only reason I do this is to be a catalyst. I want to hear what you say. Existing is walking on eggshells. Existing is fear of the potential. If you're in a relation, fear of the woman. Fear of the shame and the gall of the woman. You're absolutely right, Mayor Bodybuilding. How they just give up and give in. He went and sat under the tree of Maya of illusion. Go watch Little Buddha with Keanu Reeves. You'll understand the story. Pain and suffering is weakness leaving the body. Well said, Timothy from California, San Pedro. You're in the medical sales field. What do you think about psychologists? I would. Psychiatrists are medical doctors. Psychologists are behavioral health professionals. They have their place, but I do not trust therapy for most of it. There is clinical therapy that is needed where one would need to see a psychiatrist. But most of it, I think, is a bunch of quackery. Appreciate you being here, bodybuilder. Every one of you bring value and content to this message. Yep. We've all learned men chasing the eternal pussy is such a waste of time. I wouldn't have been here without Big Johns, without the Hammerhands, without Spetsnat, without, I listened to TFM a little, but Paul Proteus, Barbarossa. And I said, hey, if I could just share my experience and help one other person, I feel productive in my life. That's fine with me, man. I'm running my mouth. 52 minutes. Psychotherapy, I have over 60%. Yeah, it's a money grab. It's a grift. Look, there is clinical need for therapy. That is when you see a psychiatrist, which is a medical doctor who went through medical school, who understands both the physical, the mental, and the emotional aspects of the human body. Psychologists and therapists only understand, well, they think they understand the emotional and mental aspects. They don't understand the physical, the brain, the respiratory, the nervous system. I had a good life, but I regret wasting time and money chasing skirts, but I dodged a lot of bullets by not remarrying. But think about this, I am John. I love that comment, by the way. I came out of a marriage at 43. I probably really digested the red pill around 46, 47. So I could say like the last 5 years have been really successful for me. But I could have gone 35 more years married and miserable. I would rather spend the last 10 years of my life knowing what I know now. It would dwarf the 35 years being in the programming. Does that make sense? Imagine selling fake plastic putties. Someone's selling fleshlights. Brad, I just upgraded. It's going to take me a minute to reconfigure everything, folders, tabs. Good for you, brother. They're selling fleshlights. Someone had to sell it. Someone had to go sell the silicon. There's cells in everything. Cells in everything. I do every now and again. I usually have something to drink. I just want to see my boy grow up in a normal environment. Let him be a boy, Slam. When he's ready, then you can start talking about it. You're going to be a good dad. What about PhD psychologists that study mental disorder? I mean, I'm not going to slate most of them, but yeah, I mean, there's value in it. A PhD, I have my own theories about PhDs, but if you're going to go to therapy, I would specifically look for a psychiatrist, a male psychiatrist that understands males. Life is a buffet, a little of this and a little of that, and the rest works. And you know what? In that great buffet, one time you're going to get sick, and then you're going to blame it on the buffet. And then eventually you might go back to it. Life is all like this, guys. Just like the stock market. Hopefully it always rises, but you're going to hit plateaus. You're going to hit choppy waters. Yeah, you're not wrong, Trog. A lot of the guys that don't want to deal with that become psychiatrists. But that is the only clinical therapy. If there are people that need. Yeah, I met some people. I mean, you talking to a woman? No. Live for every day. Don't expect tomorrow. Look at Spetnet enjoying himself in Thailand. Snuffed out. Yeah. You know, people ask me, Brad, when do you want to go out? I don't want to be in a nursing home. I don't want to have my ass being wiped by my kids. Diapers and all that crap. If males from birth are expected to live and sacrifice for females, what are females actually expected to do? Birthing children requires no effort. There you go, One Mighty. I think our task and our roles are much different. Alpha males become surgeons. Big egos. My brother is a cardiac anesthesiologist, 14 years of school. And he's got the God complex. Most of them have God complexes. I don't know if they're alphas, but at least they have the confidence that they're gods. Hey, I'm looking forward to the results, Jawara, of those hair plugs. Spoons make you fat. Take control. Yeah. I woke up at 47 through being discarded like a nobody, not being my own free will. It was imposed on me. Well, it's programming. We got to accept the programming. We're all born into it. CBT works if you let it change how you think about issues and modify your thoughts. Yeah, question your thoughts. Really, that's what it comes down to. All this therapy is having you question your thoughts. I'm not good enough. Well, why? What makes you think that? Well, I grew up in a crappy family. Well, was it your choice to be born in that family? Well, no. Was it your choice between your parents that they fought? Did you make them fight? No. How did it affect you? Made me feel sad. Where does that sadness come from? I don't know, within. Clinical therapy is needed in very specific and niche conditions where it does help. But the majority of therapy is a waste of money and waste of time. And most people think they're getting something by paying something. Now, maybe it has the placebo effect. But at the end of the day, most people I know in therapy are always in therapy. So does it work? They're all a-hole, aren't they, Trog? I'm telling you, it's God complex. No more RP actors full of them in the 60s. Equality is not like a buffet. It's not a pick and choose to suit your needs. Equality screws everyone equally. Buffet means bunch of ugly fat fuckers eating together. Ooh, I like that. SE, you're not mistaken, brother. You can get them done for like 70, 80% less, big world. And they're all US trained. When I need therapy, I plug my massive 1/4 phono plug in the Marshall stack and give Les Paul. Heck, Les Paul loves it when he gets, what's the word? Distracted? Tunisia, I'd like to go there. Sean Connery would slap modern women badly. So would John Wayne. Gone are the days of John Wayne, folks. At 58, I grew up where everyone had a mom and dad. I had a great upbringing, feel bad for kids. Same with me. That's the hardest thing about my kids. I don't understand. I'm not a child of divorce, but my kids are. Oh, that's a tough one, Mysterio. Tough one, James Dean. I like his movies, my favorite actor. You got to watch why James Dean's my favorite actor. Only did 3 movies. Learn early in life, there's no free lunch. Get up and get out of there and get it. He was a different dude. He wasn't a heartthrob in the movies. He was a wacko. He was trying to find himself. A lot of red pill in James Dean characters. He was walking on a sidewalk, got hit by a truck. Yes, he sure did. Now, if I had to go out, let me go back to it. He's married to a doctor. Most doctors are difficult to deal with, and I sell to them. Imagine a troon sewing a blank on their foreheads. There you go. Why is the cost so cheap? HIPAA doesn't exist. All of the FDA shit doesn't exist. Lots of things. This vehicle right now is therapy, so it does work. This is therapy for guys, to hear from other guys. The thin and happy women from the 80s and 90s, Timmy the Forever Bachelor with Aquanet. Big old hair and beautiful, yes. Meditation and calming yourself are a strong key to controlling your emotions like a man should. It takes practice to be alone. Well said, brother. My sister got a mini skirt and my dad threw it away. That was in the 80s. Big world, I go to Mexico, get great. Yo, yeah, you get it for 80%. Guatemala is even cheaper. You get a knee replacement. I think here it's probably 10 to 15 grand, 2,100 there. I don't know. I don't listen to Eminem. Is it good? My ex is a doctor. I played on TV. So anyhow, get back to it. If I wanted to go out, this is how I want to go out. I want to be a nursing home. I don't want to be decrepit. If I'm losing it, I'll be like the Indian grandmothers. They walk out, they bid farewell to their tribe and their teepee, and they walk, and you typically walk away, and they freeze, and they don't want to be a burden. So, machismo is in now. Feminism is creeping in, but machismo runs that place. Well said, Simone. But what I want to do is, if I'm getting to that point, I think most people understand their moment of death. Unless it's like, automatic or something, you're in an airplane. I don't know, maybe they felt something. Well said, Stephen. I won't read that. No shortage of confed Karen ladies here in Minnesota. Minnesota. I did like Minneapolis. But what I would like to do is get in a canoe. I would get in a canoe. Let's say I'm Mexico, Baja, or down in Nicaragua, San Juan del Sur, and just say, you know what? I'm feeling it's my time in the next little bit. I don't want to be a burden. I sure as hell don't want to go out as a zombie, medicated, like a baby. Like literally, most old folks, and we respect our elderly, they return. They need diapers. They need to be taken care of. They need to be fed. I don't want that. I want to go out with complete autonomy, self-autonomy. So I said to myself, I'm going to fill a canoe full of avocados, bananas, chips and salsa, beef jerky, have a little stove, maybe a raft, 3 cases of tequila, 4 cases of beer, soda pop, and I'm going to canoe to Hawaii. If I make it to Hawaii, I win. If I don't, I still win. Get my drift? No pun intended. Thanks for putting that up, D-Man. Don't bother too much with politics. It really is one big club. Yes, it is. And Bill Hicks talked about that, Nick. So did George Carlin. Not going to be here, but half of the female population, and fertile ones, has been removed from selection so they can be indoctrinated until they are legally of age. The Brainwashing is done. Eminem is definitely a libtard, son of a baby mama. Single mama. See you later, SCE. Canoe, have you heard the story of the fisherman off the west coast of Latin America drifted in the Pacific Ocean? I think I remember hearing that story. But see, I would go out, let's just say 84, 32 years from now. It's a great life, feeling confident, body. Who knows? I mean, I could live to 100 and be happy. 48 years, I take care. For the most part, I can improve on certain things. But the reality is, if I get another good 30 years out of this life, living my best life, I'm going to have a great life. If I was still married from 43 on, I'd be existing. I guarantee it. What's in your head? Going cranberries on us, Joara? Rest in peace to her, Dolores. I used to throw eggs with my skate friends at 304s for fun. We made up this game in high school called Heinous Tomato. We go buy a bunch of tomatoes at the store, in the bags that were like on sale or at clearance. And we go roll them at night, midnight, and 10 o'clock till midnight. We'd roll them in the streets. We'd see how many cars would roll over the tomatoes, and we'd count how many, and then we called it Heinous Tomato. I go into nursing homes because I do delivery jobs on the side, and I see people 5-10 years younger than me. Scares me. Yeah. They put Xanax in applesauce. Well said, I am John. My father-in-law, before he died at 62, was in a nursing home. Or 65, something like that. Life is actually simple. MGTOW just cleans the windshield. Drive on, don't look back. There you go. Rad, what are the housing prices on co-op? They're infinitely eternal. If you last that long, just set yourself up with a housekeeper and nurse that puts out, and you're golden. I just want to go out with a bang. Evel Knievel style. Hey, if a shark gets me, that'll even go quicker. Dolores and Sinead deleted themselves after hitting the wall. I just saw that that Sinead died of a heart attack. I just brought that up the other day. She didn't go out. There was no drugs in her system, apparently. I thought that too. I thought she deleted herself. There you go. I got to go skateboard. Maybe this weekend. I was going to go last weekend, but I didn't. But you guys, listen. Death is not to be feared. We'll all go through it. The only way to get to heaven, everybody's dying to get into heaven. My dad used to say that. Hey, son, you know heaven? Yeah. Well, everyone's dying to get in. Total dad joke. But I still say it today. We all go through choppy waters, man. We all go through calm waters. Fear, I would fear not living a life of production. I would fear not living a life of my own choosing. I would fear a life, knowing what I know now, going back into the programming. I would fear a life trying to appease others. I would fear a life trying to make women happy. I would fear a life trying to chase women. I would fear a life wanting validation from others. But I don't. Working with old folk, one of the guys with Alzheimer's looked at me one day with a smile and said, "This is the last time you'll see me." Then he passed at a hospital. Wow. I saw my grandfather. He died at almost 104. He chose to go out. Fear is a mind killer. Well said, Seraphim. He chose to leave this earth. I know he did. A lack of a chemical can cause a cardiac event, allegedly. Interesting. Geriatric swingers. Most STDs occur at nursing homes. I think she was 58. Her first album was pretty good. Lion and the Cobra. I thought she was pretty hot with that bald head. She could pull it off. Beware upside down pineapples. Beware the swingers or flamingos. Fear is a tool of the NWO. Sure. Everybody got a bump and grind. Just keep between the ditches and follow the sun down. Movie The Highlander. I have something to say. It's better to burn out than to fade away. Well said. But let us not fear life, fear death. Most people fear life. Think about that one. Learning how to live is a practice. Then it becomes muscle memory, like a boot camp for yourself. Within your mind is all the memory that you've had learning those skills. Yes, I said earlier, I just said it, if I wanted to go out, let's say like 84, I'm feeling like it's within weeks, it's the end of my time. Get in the canoe, fill it with cerveza, tequila, chips and salsa, guacamole, beef jerky, a little stove, applesauce, candy bars, paddle to Hawaii. If I make it, I win. If I don't, I still win. Interesting how religion is used to justify infant male genital mutilation by religion. Boys are born second. Yep. We circumcised all our kids. I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but it's what we did. No pineapple on your pizza. I like pineapple on my pizza. You can eat your pure meat. I like pineapples, mushrooms. I like the Chicago and New Yorkers probably hate me. Mosquito Coast, good film. Wonderful film. One of my favorites, Nick. Have you seen the Mosquito Coast series? That's playing on, it's on HBO. That's a good season. It's 2 seasons based on that movie. Rad, did you say Matt Lion and the Cobra? I thought she was hot back in the day. Yeah, like when she 87, 86. Oh, I thought she was cute. And then she hit the wall. She hit the wall. She was a crazy hot chick, Tro. Do you think there is a war on masculinity? Red pill like my doll. Yes, of course there is. Good to have you, brother. Rodney Dangerfield, Dillis Thomas, do not go gentle into that good night. I can't get well respect. Caddyshack, one of the good ones. Back to school. Rodney Dangerfield, rest in peace. She sure did. She went Karen. Women, here's another deal. Women might be smart and fun and charming when they're 18 and 19, but then they get older and hormones seep in and changes happen and become Karens. They go nuts. She was mental illness, living not right. I think she got hit and quit and had a kid or two by one guy, and then she was alpha widowed. She talked about it. Then she was anti-religious. She wanted to make a name for herself. I don't know what happened. But at one point, I do like her very first album, Lion and the Cobra. It might be her second album. I can't remember. That came out in 87. I thought it was really good. She had a very different sound. I'm not a big fan of women singers, by the way. There's very few that I like. What's up, Gone with John? Good to see you, brother. I don't know. I listed it about 4 hours before I went live. Probably Susan is blocking. There's people that have there's a couple guys. Ronan Man does international conferences. They do hate aging. Well said, brother. No matter how hot she is, somebody is sick of her shit. That is red pill right there. No HBO in UK. Shame that series would be worth seeing. Check out upmovies.net. Upmovies.net. Search series Mosquito Coast. You can watch it there. I had a Porsche 912, Mr. Sammy. Unfortunately, they're just too hard to get into. Love them, but they're just too hard. Easy Money, good film. Well said, brother. You cannot discuss these issues with other women. It's useless. 100% I am, John. When she ripped the good Pope's pick. Oh, yeah. She's, again, looking for attention. Just like Jussie Smollett. It's sad what people have to do to feel validated. Star Chamber, I'll check it out. Hey, there's some good stuff out there. There's some good movies. Mosquito Coast was great. Really loved the Harrison Ford. Talk about a guy on a mission. It's sad what happened to him in the end, though. Rest in peace to River Phoenix, though. He did a good role. But the series is good. I really liked it. There's a cool series on Netflix called Ripley. I liked The Talented Mr. Ripley when it came out. Matt Damon and Jude Law. Philip Seymour Hoffman, who happens to be one of my favorite modern day actors, as well as Christian Bale and Daniel Day-Lewis and Liam Neeson. But Ripley is on Netflix. I like Lambrettas and Vespas, and yeah, Lambrettas are dope. Got a buddy that's got 3 or 4 of them. They break down all the time. Mako, I think they're from Germany, right? Cushman. I got a backlog of movies I'm watching. Wayne's World and Bill and Ted's. Attaboy. Ferrari Testarossa. Well, the problem with those supercars, they're just a pain in the ass to maintain. Check out the recommendation. Ripley was good. It's based on the same movie. The guy's Skittles in it, but it's done in black and white. Took 5 years to make. It's very Italian. It's got Dakota Fanning in it, but it's good. It's good. If you like good artistic filmmaking, I think Ripley on Netflix is a very good, well made 8-episode series about Mr. Talented Mr. Ripley. It kind of goes more in depth about the story, but it's the same story. I got an offer today on the house, and I'm not going to take it though. If she has more breasts than her face in her profile picture, it means only one thing: she belongs to the streets. Well said. And by the way, Timothy, I don't have a problem driving a van. We'll see. We'll see what happens. My favorite movie, JC, came out in 1967. A guy by the name of Paul Newman was in it. But not Redford, only Paul Newman. And Dennis Hopper was in it too. What's the movie? I am glad you were there as a present father. Well, I tried to be I fought for him. Cost me over 6 figures. Clockwork Orange, attaboy. JC says Forrest Gump's a good one too. Shrimp sandwich, shrimp cocktail, shrimp. You're going to trip on them lips, Private. The Pale Blue Eye. Oh, that was a great one. Great movie. Loved it. Edgar Allan Poe. Can you ride a motorcycle? Yes, I had 3 of them. I learned on a stick shift. I finished Yellow Jackets. Second season wasn't as good, but it kept my interest. Yes, because I've lowered my house $35,000, and I'm not going to lower it anymore. I'm priced really good, and the person, he nails it. Cool Hand Luke is my favorite. Number 2 is Shane. Came out in 1956. Actually, Cool Hand Luke is my favorite. Then East of Eden with James Dean will be my second. Shane, Alan Ladd, my third. Modern day movies. I'll have to tell you. There's no rush for me. I'm not going to give it away. The guy was a realtor, so he would get another 15 grand and another 10 grand. I'm like, I'm not going to give it to him for 45. F that. Too low. If her body count is higher than her credit score, run, gents. Well said. The Warriors. Benjamin Button was good too. Rather, the longer you hold out, the more it costs you. If it was what we did give him, we countered, but I got time. But again, you're not mistaken, but I just don't feel it's the right one. The Bronx Tale, good. I do like smash burgers, yes. Easy Rider, Peter Fonda. Catch Me If You Can is a good movie, yeah. I like Castaway too. Castaway. Yeah, we're good. It's only been 3 months. Hasn't been 3 years. Hard Day's Night, there you go. Werner Herzog. He's got some good stuff. I like a lot of Australian thrillers. Wolf Creek, I think it's great. Australians make some killer movies, but it's also financed by Australia. They can spend a lot of money. Just the outback, thriller, action, horror. I love that shit. What else do I like? I mean, I like old stuff. I was a film major, so I like a lot of like Citizen Kane, Streetcar Named Desire, a lot of Brando stuff. I thought Apocalypse Now was great. I mean, there's so many, but my top three: Cool Hand Luke, number one; Red Pill movie, all the way. Number two, East of Eden. I would put all three of James Dean in number two. And number three, Shane by Alan Ladd. It's Cowboy. Come back, Shane. Shane. Come back, Shane. You guys got to watch that. Kung Fu films. There you go. Vanishing Point. Dirty Harry. Hitchcock was great too. The Birds. Psycho. The scene in Psycho with the blood in the shower scene, that was chocolate syrup. Hershey's chocolate syrup. Rowdy, you ever looked at British Columbia? A friend moved. Yes, I love British Columbia. Spent a lot of time. We used to take the kids up there to Whistler, Pemberton. Love that place. Sea to Sky Highway for 300. Spent a lot of time in Cardston, Lethbridge. My ex-wife's father was from Raymond, Alberta, or Lethbridge area, about 40 minutes outside of Carson, Calgary. Good stuff. Dead Calm. Yes, I've seen that. I can't remember that right now, though. Vertigo is good. Clint Eastwood. Oh, I liked even, what's the one he just did when he's like El Camino? The old guy that moves in that one neighborhood. Enemy of the State. Just saw that a couple weeks ago. Still good. Still good. Gene Hackman. 310 to Yuma is great. The original or the second one? With Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. Quigley Down Under is an underrated. Yeah, yes, spaghetti westerns are good. Lots of immigrants. I remember last time I was in Vancouver, so many Asians from Taiwan and stuff. I hardly saw any native Canadians, I guess. Strange Brew, classic, right? The Santana series. Jake Speed. Is Jake Speed a movie? Shaw Brothers, Five Venoms, Kid with the Golden Arm. Trying to think of Jake Speed. Any film with Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson did wonderful in Lethal Weapon. Okay. I saw Lethal Weapon in the theaters with my hot girlfriend named Allison. My junior year, she was a sophomore. We went to Lethal Weapon 3, I think. With Leo Getz. Okay. Joe Pesci. What, I never saw Barbie, but I did see Hammer's review on it. I thought that was great. Dead Calm is stranded on yachts with, ooh. I've seen a lot of, you know what I've been interesting you say that, Mr. Joe. I've been into a lot of, and I've seen Apocalypto, good movie. I love to watch thriller movies about shipwrecks, like people whose like boat like runs out of gas or is, they fall asleep. And it's a very, the set is basically a boat. They're out of food, they're out of water, there's some sort of like murder maybe. And then the antagonist is a storm, or there's so many cool movies about boats. I've been into those, and like outdoor movies like The Gray, Seraphim Falls, plane crashes. Like Man Against the Elements is another genre that I love. Demolition Man is a good one. There you go. Once Upon a Time in the West. There you go. Charles Bronson for 300. Death Wish. Terminator 2 is huge. Oh, that was a good one. And the Die Hard series, absolutely. Hunt for Red October, one, a classic. I'll watch that anytime. Heat. You guys know they're making Heat 2? Heat was an amazing film. Even the film with, what's the one when Insomnia? Robin Williams and Al Pacino up in Alaska. Hunting a Murder. Invincible, Shaolin, also called Unbeatable Dragon, is incredible. Let's check it out. Alive, is that the movie Alive? Yep, saw that. Saw the new one on Netflix too. The Revenant, wonderful film. DiCaprio did amazing in that. I also like the movie he did, The Beach in Thailand. Into the Blue, I think I've seen that. But there's a lot of movies, if you type thrillers on water, No Country for Old Men is also good. Josh Brolin did great. Heads or Tails. Remember when he went into that little tire shop, that little country store? Today is your lucky day. That dude was scary. He did. Javier Bardem did an amazing job in that. Yeah, that was good. Jet Li. Yeah, Heat 2. Hopefully it works. You know, sequels are very difficult. I think Top Gun sequel was done very well. You know, Arnold ruined it. You know, I still haven't seen the Two Dunes. Don't shame me. Maybe I can do it this weekend. Insomnia was a masterpiece. Yep. Rocky. Watched all the Rockies with my youngest. All the Rambos, all the Rockies. If you got boys, if Slam's still listening, watch all of the Rambos and Rockies when he gets of age. And the Indiana Jones series. Black Mask. You know, it's funny. All those old movies have no cell phones in them, no computers, no social media. True storytelling at its best. And no politics, right, John? Linda Carter, man, she is an attractive woman. She was married to her husband for 40 years, then he died. A high-value man to you is a man that takes accountability. 100%. 100% accountability in his life. He does not blame anyone. If something is done bad to him, he allows it to be and he moves on. Rad, they made a Revenant horror twist on the zombie vampire. Interesting. I'm not a big horror genre. I like little blood. I don't want to see all that gore. Just act like you're going to do it, but don't film the shot for me. Let me think about it. I don't like that. It's probably from being a kid. Captain USA, there you go. So check this out. Me and my son, John, we saw all the Indiana Jones. We watched them all together, the first 3. And then the 4th came out. We saw it in the theaters. And he was 17 at the time. 17. Yeah, 17. We saw it in the theaters last year. No, he just turned 18. No, 17. The River Wild's good too. Garbage Day. Good to see you, brother. And so I'm sitting with my youngest son. Predator versus Alien. And the last time I saw Indiana Jones in the theaters was Indiana Jones 3. Was it The Last Crusade? With my father at the same age. And I didn't even plan it. It just was at the right time. It was pretty cool. Jocko's cool. Gran Torino, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. Did I say El Torino? GoldenEye was good. Yep. I like original James Bond stuff. They filmed Insomnia near me in Port, BC after they filmed the scene. Oh, that was so good. That's cool, Trog. They filmed it up there by you. What's not to like about Linda Carter? Oh, she is one good-looking woman. Rowdy, you should see A Soldier Story. Harold Rollins and Denzel about a murder on all black. Interesting. I'll check it out. GoldenEye. Maybe Octopussy. Christian Leitner. I'll have to check that out. From Duke. Let's go live election night and watch them. We'll have to see. It's happening in Venezuela, but no surprise. We Were Soldiers. It's a good movie. Yeah, Grace Kelly was good. Simone. Are you thinking We Were Soldiers or We Were Brothers? Bolo's back from Canada. Good to see you, brother. I'll have to check it. I haven't seen that. Good for Bolo. Appreciate you being here, brother. One Mighty and Strong. Crispin Glover, I like his stuff. He's whack. He's a method actor. He does creepy friggin' movies. Wonderful actor. The guy in Wolf Creek. Guys, go watch Wolf Creek, the Australian thriller, and then watch Wolf Creek 2, and then watch the Wolf Creek series. Modern movies are psyops. I don't think you're wrong, brother. I believe so, Seraphim. I don't like the shaved parts. I'm a fan of a modern woman, a real woman. Fall 71, good to see you, brother. Any Mel Brooks film, Spaceballs is one of my faves. Did you see me playing with my dolls again? We ain't found shit. Toxic Avenger. You know, JC, I got through to the third episode of Breaking Bad. I couldn't get into it for some reason. Might have been timing. A View to a Kill, Christopher Walken, Gone with John, going classic. Great one too. Octopussy is probably my favorite. Andy Kaufman was great. Rest in peace, man. Jim Carrey did a good reinvention of him. She sure did, JR. The Commuter. Is The Commuter with Liam Neeson or Jason Statham? Can't remember. A bit realistic, but fun to watch. I think it was with Liam Neeson. Rowdy, you see Crispin Glover was on Letterman and he flipped out and tried to roundhouse the desk. No, but I think Crispin Glover is probably he's a very rare actor. I like actors like Daniel Day-Lewis. He's only done like 10 films. He's not one of these guys that goes out. He's a method actor. He lives his role for 3 years. He lived as Abraham Lincoln for 3 years. Lived in an 1800s house, dressed like him, ate like him. So he literally became him. She had an identical twin, had no idea. I like Bill Murray films. I like thrillers, mysteries, Inception. I like Christopher Nolan films. Memento is probably one of his best with Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce stars in this Australian thriller. He's Australian, of course. Founder of Skull Candy. Good friend. SEAL Team is good. Yeah, I like anything with SEALs too. Land of Battle was good too. On Netflix right now. Man on the Moon was well done, well said. Yep, Daniel Day-Lewis I love Daniel Day-Lewis. Gangs of New York, killer. There's a good story about that. Vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. There you go. Last 9 months, I've been up around the mines of Northwest Australia. Not sure if it's Wolf Creek. Oh, dude, it's that Wolf Creek, Fall 71 is where that crater is. Go watch that. Criminal Minds. I like Criminal Minds. I like what's the True Crimes one? No, True something. They just did that with Jodie Foster in Alaska. Stripes is great. What's your take on Lincoln, the band, or myth? Be more specific, Mr. I don't know. Beekeeper was a great movie. Never happened, probably because the woke turned it down, or there's no Skittles in it. Lawless with Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's another great actor. X-Files are great. Mulder. I thought she's hot too. I can't remember. What's her name? That dam here in the Swiss Alps, and you can do the bungee jump. Don't tell my mom. The Mechanic is good. The Mechanic is great. Christian Bale when he gets all skinny. That's a whole mind trip too. There Will Be Blood. Yep. Talked about that. Radical. Great movie. I liked it when he's got that bowling alley in his house. Seven is great. Hear No Evil, See No Evil. Watched him as a child. The first House movie. What about Saw? Anybody like Saw? Fast Times is great. Who ordered the pizza? Right here, dude. Yep, 48 Hour little. Eddie Murphy did some good stuff. Blazing Saddles. Who's the new mayor in town? That. Yeah, he was the dentist in Seinfeld, right? Everyone's telling me to watch Cobra Kai. I should. Layer Cake. You didn't like, Stephen, Land of Bad? Too many mistakes. Well, you're more in that world, but yeah. I thought it kept my attention. Northman. I started it. I've not finished it. My fingers slipped. I meant present Lincoln as a whole. Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy that's come out with him. I mean, obviously the first Republican, Spies Like Us, Meatballs. There you go. I don't know much. I should read more about him. I believe he was killed by the deep state. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Girls Gone Wild. That guy was a wacko that created those. St. Elmo's Fire. True Detective. That's it. Is it True Detective? The one in Alaska? The one with Colin? Jeez, where's my mind today? Colin Farrell. Galaxy Quest is one of my favorite. There you go. There you go. Howard the Cuck. Even Chucky's good. Chucky's funny. I try to get out of golf with clients. You'd be surprised. A lot of the guys I deal with, they don't play golf. I mean, they do, but they don't have time for it. We do golf events, but it's more of the sales reps that play golf with each other. Coach Lamont's in the house. Good to see you. The Big Short was good. I need to watch Cobra Kai because it's, based on the wax on, wax off. Karate Kid. Remember when they made the Karate Kid a girl? Whacked. Another true Australian story that'll give you the creeps. I've seen Snowtown. Yes, the 3. Yes. There's a documentary on it too. That's a weird documentary. True story though. Peter Sellers, good. Benny Hill. Narcos. Narcos is good. Yeah. Pablo Escobar. History of the World too. It's good to be the king. Outer Limits. What was the one with David Lynch made it back in the 80s? Something Twilight. Was it Twilight? Was it Twin Peaks? Good one. Shooter, one of my favorites. Lone Survivor, good too. I thought Shooter was great. I'll watch that any day. The Sinner, seasons 1 and 2. Classic horror. Casino was good too. Remember when at the end they got hit on the head with a baseball bat? Twilight Zone was good too. Outer Limits. He is a big golfer. Yeah, it's usually my team, my boss, and we're all the same age. We'll go in a day early and they'll want to golf. Homeowners insurance going through the roof. Mine did the same thing, FJT, normal. Mine came back and they raised it like $150. Yep. I paid when I moved in 2019, $475. Then it went to $600. Then it went to $670. Then it went to $840. Then it went to $9 something. Now it's $1150. Almost $100 a month. Departed's good. Psychic Detectives. Billy's Own. The Room. Twin Peaks. Ooh, Nick Vincent. You like Red? That was an interesting movie. Some noir, filmmaking noir. The homeowners insurance is going through the roof, man. That's another good reason. Few Good Men's good. Sniper. John likes Sniper. Twin Peaks was good. There's a movie from there's a series called Dark, a German great time traveling type dimensional movie called Dark, or a series called Dark. Check it out. I think there's 3 seasons. Watched them all. It's like different, like the same person in different time zones, time dimensions. There's my Rumble. Australia's got some great shows. I had an offer today, FJT. The guy gave me that same offer a month and a half ago. No, too low. Not going to give it away. Again, I'm not in a rush. The right time, the right buyer will show up at the right price. Yeah, Radical. We talked about Heat. Great movie. Val Kilmer. They're making Heat number 2. 1750 a year. Yeah, mine's 1150 right there. I've got a independent insurance. He always shops my rate, so he finds me the best rate. But yeah, it's even I have USAA, they're higher. I love the movie Rad, Gleaming the Cube, all that stuff. Well, you guys have been great. This has been a great show. Remember, don't fear death. Fear the programming. Don't fear women validating you. Validate yourself. We're all going to be gone eventually. We're going to go dust to dust, ashes to ashes. I'm going to be cremated because I don't want to live in a box. I don't want anybody to find me. Animal Kingdom, also good. Reservoir Dogs, you guys are going old school. Inglourious Basterds is great. And a lot of the Darjeeling Limited, Mount Rushmore, Life Aquatic with Steve, with what was his name? Steve something. A lot of those funny Coen movie brothers, all good. You guys have been great. We'll see you on the next one. Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, and men first. I'm out.